All right, what's up, Dragon Brood? Today we're actually going to have a pretty short video. There's not that many cards for today's preview lineup. I guess it was 5 cards today, and it's Sunday, April 10th. So not a lot. We had a lot on Saturday, not much on Sunday, but you know what? We're still going to go in and talk about them because it looks like there's some interesting stuff. So let's go take a look. All right, we're starting off today with Witness Protection, which I actually really like the name of this. Like, this is pretty cool. One of the things I do like about going into these kind of overly super themed or, you know, historical themed sets is that you do actually get these kinds of names that actually are pretty cool. Just play on things we know about. But this is Witness Protection. It's 1 blue. It's an enchantment, aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a green and white citizen creature with base power 1/1, named legitimate business person. I don't know why that's so funny to me. It loses all other colors, types, creature types, and name. That is awesome from a flavor perspective. I mean, seriously, like, you take away all the abilities from creature, it becomes a 1/1. And he happens to be a very legitimate business person. Just saying. Yeah, that's a good one. So credit to Wizards on that from a flavor perspective. This is neat because it's almost like a blue removal card of sorts, right? Like, you don't really get rid of the creature, but you turn like a 4/4 or a 5/5 into a 1/1. Kind of neat. Now, does this mean if this becomes playable, like, do you start playing more things like Teferi or Tamiyo Safekeeping, maybe? I don't know, but it is an interesting card to at least think about where it fits, because this can fit into both aggro decks and into control decks. I can't think of a way or a situation where you'd want to put it on one of your own creatures, but definitely good to have on your opponent's stuff. This is a cool card. All right, this is Rafines Guidance, 1 white for a creature or enchantment aura. Enchant creature gets +1/+1. You may cast Rafines Guidance from your graveyard by paying 2 colorless and a white instead of its mana cost. So this actually becomes kind of a neat creature enhancement card, right? You can pay 1 just to cast it and put a 1/1 on something. But then if it's in your graveyard, you can effectively just keep getting it back. So even when the creature it's on dies, you're like, cool, you can pay 3 and give something else +1/+1. Now, does this make it a thing that's going to be playable and constructed in something you want to do? Not necessarily, but when you're thinking about it in terms of a deck that has, like, I don't know, Magecraft type stuff, or, well, obviously this isn't an instant, but I'm thinking decks that want to play a second spell every turn. You know, something like that could fit very well for something like this. And granted, 3 is not the cheapest thing to cast for what you're getting, but the fact that you'd be able to just pseudo guarantee yourself an additional card to cast whenever you're ready seems kind of neat. Also makes me wonder if there's going to be a series of these now that we've seen a white one and a blue one, if there's going to be one in every color. A 1 mana thing that, you know, has some ability on a creature. So this is kind of cool. Like, this is less likely to see play, though, except for in very specific situations. Otherwise, this is just going to be a decent card to have in limited. Not even good, but something that's at least just playable. But yeah, I think this is more of a limited impact than a constructed impact. All right, this one, I have no idea what the name is, so we're just going to go with the casting cost. 2 colorless and a red for a creature. That is a Viashino Warrior, I'm guessing, looking at it. It's a 2/2 and has 1 and tap. When this creature deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of permanents you sacrifice this turn. Ooh, this is interesting. So this could be played alongside any of the sacrifice effect stuff. It says specifically number of things you sacrifice, so not that died. So it does make a bit of a difference. But that could still be pretty good. Especially if you get like double anvil going, or maybe you have like the dockside whatever. The dockside chef that you're sacrificing stuff during your turn. Maybe you end up being able to get 3 damage out of this every turn. It definitely is a way to speed up your clock. Is it significantly better than the other thing those decks could be doing? I'm not sure. I think it's a neat tool, though. But again, we haven't seen a big chunk of the set, so if there are other things that make sense that you can sacrifice stuff to, then this does become a little bit of a better card. But until then, I think I'm just going to say this is just kind of okay. It may have a very specific home, but not one that I'm super excited about. Okay, so I believe this is Forge Captain, 2 colorless, black, red, 3/4, creature, human warrior. The creature is whenever you sacrifice 1 or more creatures, this deals 2 damage to each opponent. This ability triggers only once each turn. Okay. This is kind of cool too, because this also fit, like, so now there's a sacrifice sub theme. Also, these are not 3-color cards, these are in 2 colors, so these could fit right into what you're trying to play. The reason I think I like this more than I like the other card we just talked about is that this will trigger just from you just naturally sacrificing things, and then this is going to deal 2 damage, right? Now it's only once each turn, and that's fine, because it's just like extra damage on what your deck's already doing. The other thing is too, this is a 3/4 body, whereas those decks really haven't had any sizable bodies to put in the way to help fight if you need to, or even just to speed up the clock if something deals with your, say, anvils or whatever. So this could be a key part of some of these other sacrifice decks. Now, does it go into any other formats? Not very likely, because you have like the devil and the other things that are just going to trigger more regularly and get you more damage. But this is actually pretty cool for a standard option in some of those decks. So I'm with it. I think this could see a little bit of play. Maybe only as like a 2-of copy or something in there, but I think it does do a little extra work that it's at least worth considering. Exotic Pets, a colorless, white-blue for an instant. Okay, first off, before I get to the ability, like just the name, like the fact that somebody in R&D realized like, oh, well, you always have the mob bosses with these huge, like, shark tanks or random things. Like, we should have that in the game. So it's actually pretty funny. But it's an instant creature, or create 2 1/1 blue fish creature tokens with. This creature can't be blocked. Okay. Then for each kind of counter among creatures you control, put a counter of that kind on either of these tokens. So, if I understand this, the way it reads is you make 2 1/1 blue fish tokens. Both of them say they can't be blocked. And then if you have any other counters on your stuff, whether it's a flying counter, first strike counter, I guess technically that means even a -1/-1 counters, like you have to take a counter of each of those types and choose one of these creatures they're all going to go on. So, neat card. I'm not sure how many other counters there are. I'm trying to think about like cards I have, like +1/+1s and stuff, maybe. But yeah, I mean, this one feels like if it's playable, it's going to be like sneaky good. Like, it's going to be very unassuming, but it's going to go into a deck where you're like, oh yeah, all those counters. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I think it's just an okay card. Borderline playable. Maybe. But I don't think we've seen enough of the set to know where this quite fits yet. But I do like the flavor of it. I mean, mob bosses having exotic packs, very fitting. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, it was a pretty short day today. There weren't much. I guess they're saving it for the rest of the week, so I'm expecting come tomorrow there should be a lot of cards to get previewed. But yeah, let me know if there's any of these that stood out to you, if you liked anything today. Personally, I think that Forge guy is actually pretty cool and probably get played, and I actually really enjoy Witness Protection. But yeah, these are cards that, while simple and not necessarily like over the top, they're not mind-blowing, like they still do actually have a home, and I can see uses for some of these, which is what I think we should want out of every set. Like even the small to mid-range cards, we should want to have value. So yeah, anyway, like usual, if you would like to support the channel, check out the join button down below. Remember to like, subscribe, share, all that wonderful stuff. If you're new to the video and you want to check out the other stuff, I have other preview videos linked as well if you want to check that out, or our daily gameplay content. Otherwise, check out the links. We have a bunch of stuff down in the description. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.